In this bonus lesson, we'll learn how to translate our gallop forward. We'll first get everything set up prior to having our horse here move forward. Let's show our control curves, and we'll be animating on our global controller. It's going to be the translate Z of it. Now, before we actually get to keying it, what we want to do is see the keys that we're about to set in our timeline. Okay, and it's going to be difficult to do that with our character set on, so we could just go to it right here at the bottom, holding the left mouse button, and select none. Great. So from there, what we'll want to do is set a key on frame 1 of 0 on the Translate Z, and do the same on frame 13. Okay, so we can click on frame 13, set a key of 0. From there, we'll want to bring our attention to our graph editor, so let's bring that back. Okay, and with these keys now set, what we'll need to do is make them linear. Then we need to go to curves and make sure that we'll be cycling with the right option. That's going to be cycling with offset. That will ensure that our animation will continue forward or in whatever direction that we have our cycle move in. So now that we've ensured that, what we could also do is increase our timeline to about frame 100. I like to do that to give us amount of space. Because what we're going to need to do is see at what point, by the time the horse reaches its planted position there on frame 10 of the right hoof, at what point would the horse be in our workspace? Okay. Once we figure that out, we'll know how to translate our horse forward. And what we're also going to notice is that the sliding of it, though it'll be slightly there, it'll be drastically reduced. Okay, so we can back up our camera, and if you notice, the horse is kind of getting clipped in our viewport. If that's happening to you, you just go to View, select the camera, hit Control A once to get to the attribute editor, and increase the far clip plane to about 100,000. So we'll put in 2 zeros, hit Enter, and notice our clipping has been fixed. So now we can hit Control A again to get back to the channel box. Okay, now we're ready to key in our animation. So again, we want to figure out at what point would the horse be in our workspace if you were to actually be moving forward at about this position on frame 10 where that first front leg is planted. So we'll now select the key on frame 13. Okay, go to one of our manipulators, translate to rotate, so we can move this key. And now we'll hold shift and middle mouse button, click and drag up, moving the horse forward to about a position we feel that is going to be correct for its forward translation. Okay, so let's see if a value of about almost 300 would do. Go ahead and hit play. Okay, look, and with increasing that value to 300, it almost looks like we're there, but the intensity doesn't really match up in the run compared to how we've animated the horse. So it seems that we're going to need to increase that value a little bit more. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll select the key, hold shift, and let's go ahead and bring it up a bit more. How about 360, around there? Let's see how that looks. Okay, and notice the intensity is looking better. We should also notice the sliding. We shouldn't see much at all. Okay, and it does look like that, but that back right leg seems to be sliding a little bit too much. Okay, and if we go ahead and back up the camera, hit play, the intensity is almost there, but it still isn't quite there. So let's go ahead and increase this value a little bit more. I think we're almost there. So with that key selected, we'll hold shift and middle mouse button, click and drag up a little bit more. Let's try about 400. Let's see how that looks. So we'll back up our camera, hit play. Wow, it looks like that's what it is. Okay, as we go ahead and scrub back and hit play, the intensity is matching up. Okay, the distance looks good. Let's check out the sliding. All right, and though there's just a little bit there, okay, again, this method has really reduced the amount of sliding we would get had we not done it. So that looks like that's the value that we'll be using. What we can do is a quick test. We can hide our curves. Okay, start the animation over and just find a view where we'll really see our horse in detail as he's running past. Here it is. All right, great. So that really does look convincing. We now have our horse moving forward. So those are the steps it takes to have our gallop translate forward. Okay, we want to make sure we use certain things like cycle with offset and also making our curves or our keys linear so that we can help to reduce the sliding as the horse here propels forward. And that's the lesson.